Micron technology, that's right, the ticker MU. Are we too late to buy Micron? Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Curtis. Welcome back. So, our big question is Micron still a great long-term investment from here, from today? And, in my opinion, it is. That's not me being, just overly dramatic, right? Memory has become a strategic asset for AI. Jensen Huang, godfather of AI, keeps saying that GPUs are starved for memory, right? You got to remember, he had recently just said they are using more and more memory for Vera Rubin. They need more and more memory for their CPU Vera, right? If you take a look at these three boxes that I've got on the bottom of this slide, on the left, you're going to see over plus 220%. That is Micron's year-to-date stock move heading into the mid 2026. Okay, most stocks would dream of that kind of move in 5 years. Not sure if that caught your eye, but it certainly caught mine. Now in the middle, 1.06 trillion dollars. That is what Micron is worth, and of course, everything is as of when I recorded this. All right. Now, that's right. Micron crossed the $1 trillion mark in May. And if you take a look on the right, we've got plus 762%. That is how much the stock has gone up in over the last year. So obviously, this ain't a sleepy memory company anymore, right? It's a real story, something that you certainly want to keep your eyes on. I remember watching CNBC with Kramer. And with Kramer, I remember they were like at 180 per share. And Kramer said, hey, it's got $200 written all over it. Don't sell it yet. I wish I had bought in at that time, right? Anyways, the long-term story still has plenty left in it, in my opinion. So today, what I'm going to do is I want to share more on Micron with you all. I'm going to keep it simple. That's just my style, right? I want to cover what Micron does, why they're valuable to the AI hyperscalers like the NVIDIA and the Amazons out there. And then, of course, I also want to share why I think Micron is a great long-term buy here on out. So let's go ahead and jump in. But before we do that, hey, give me a thumbs up. Click on that thumbs up button for me. Click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to me. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for that. And if along the way in this video, if you've got any questions, comments, drop it into the comment section, and I will do my best to respond back to you all. So let's go ahead and jump on in. All right. So are you interested to learn more about Micron? Okay, so I've gathered some things here and I want to share with you all. Okay, so let me first tell you in plain words what Micron actually does. Okay, we all know they're a memory chip company just like, SK Hynix and their other competitor Samsung out there, right? Micron is a memory chip company that's based here in America. That's right. They're based in Boise, Idaho, and they've been around for 45 years. They don't make the famous AI brain chips like NVIDIA does. However, and instead, Micron makes the memory chips those AI brains store and grab data from, and they do it really fast. Okay, that's why they need Micron's memory chips. So think of an AI data center like a huge city of super fast brains. Everything's running back and forth really fast, transferring data all over the place. Okay, Micron builds the giant notebooks those brains write into and read from every second. They focus on three big things. Okay, that Micron focuses on three big things. HBM, which is super fast memory that's glued right next to NVIDIA's GPUs. The DDR5, which is the regular RAM that fills the AI servers. And then the NAND flash, which is the storage inside the data center SSDs. Okay, so let's get our roadmap. Check out these three boxes that I've got right here with some data. Okay, on the left, we've got 56%. That's how much of Micron's revenue now comes from data center and cloud memory. Okay, so that's relative to 2 years ago where that number was so much smaller. And to me, that basically means that they've become an AI company, flat, straight out. Okay. Now in the middle, $23.9 billion in revenue last quarter. That's up 196% from the year before, almost 200%. It is my opinion that for a memory company of this size, almost tripling their revenue in a single year, that's massive, right? That's huge. Okay, they can probably uh, thank the hyperscalers and the capital expenditures for that, obviously. Now, if you think about it, without that type of capital expenditure, I mean, what kind this growth will probably never happen, right? For a lot of these companies, that we've got our eyes on. So, Micron, one of them, of course. And then let's take a look at the right 220%, right? That's the stock move year to date. So while most stocks are, up, 8, 10%, right? Micron is up over 220%. Just some facts, to preface this as we get deeper into this video here. Okay, so moving forward, I'm going to continue to share more on what Micron does, why every big AI company needs their memory, and of course, why, in my opinion, I still think Micron's a fantastic, great long-term buy from here. Stay with me, okay? This is going to be some awesome stuff. All right, so more on what Micron actually does. Okay, so Micron is known for building the memory that AI lives inside. Okay, everybody knows they're a memory chip company, right? I want you to think about it like this. Okay, everybody hears about NVIDIA and their GPUs, awesome GPUs, great company with NVIDIA, but that's those are the brains of AI. But one thing you want to keep in mind is that the brains alone cannot do anything, and that's why Jensen Hong and Nvidia is so dependent on these memory chip companies. Okay, they need somewhere to keep all that data, and the AI needs to read and write tons of data really fast. Every second, millisecond, whatever. Okay, that's where Micron comes in. Okay, they make the memory chips that feed every GPU. So I've got the information right here in the center of the slide. HBM3E, Micron makes that right there. It's a high bandwidth memory that sits right next to the GPUs. HBM is the most important memory in the world right now, and if you haven't heard, only 3 companies in the world makes it, right? Micron's one of them. In the middle, DDR5. These are the regular RAM sticks that fill up the AI server boxes way faster than the old DDR4, and one big thing, right? It uses less power. That's a big thing now. More energy efficient. Then lastly, we've got the NAND. These are the flash chips inside data centers, SSDs. They store all the training data and model weights AI uses. So bottom line, in my opinion, I mean, you can't build a modern AI data center without Micron memory inside of it. So you can look at it this way. NVIDIA is like the engine, okay, while Micron is essentially like the fuel tank, the dashboard memory, the long-term storage, okay? That's how I look at it. So let's take a look at how Micron's actually performing financially. Okay, that obviously matters when we're trying to invest in anything. Okay, if you look at the headline at the top of the slide, Micron just crushed Q2 earnings again. On the left, $23.9 billion in revenue. That's a record for the company, up 196% from last year, as I mentioned, almost 200%. 13.4 billion of that came from data center and cloud sales, and that's about 56% of the whole business. Okay, more than half of the business. 2 years ago, the data center was much smaller, and a much smaller piece of the business. So that means, of course, this is a massive shift. And then if you take a look on the right, we've got $33.5 billion. That's what management is guiding for revenue next quarter alone. And here's the key part, okay? That is the company's own official guidance. Micron is not just guessing. They have signed contracts. They've got the real orders. They've got billions of dollars of bookings. And that's what we like to see, right? When we're trying to invest in a company, keep an eye out on them. They're going to be reporting earnings at the end of this month. Okay, so I don't have the actual exact date right now, but search that up. It'll be at the end of this month. So ultimately, I mean, if you're getting me with what I'm sharing with you, right? They basically crushed it. Okay, crushed recent earnings, revenues up a lot year over year, massive growth, and then of course, the future guidance is impressive to say the least. So I'm just saying you should probably keep an eye on this. Okay, so I want to put my finger right on exactly why Micron will win, why they keep winning. Okay, so I've got four things right here for you. Okay, first, right, the HBM memory that AI needs. I mentioned already. There's only a few companies in the world that makes it. NVIDIA's Blackwell GPUs, AMD's MI400 GPUs are sold out of Micron HBM 3Es. Okay, so without HBM, those GPUs cannot run AI. Now, number two, okay, I mentioned already, three companies make the HBM. That's Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung. That's the list right there, right? Um, uh, not much of these big companies make it, and that's why they've got such a huge pricing power. That's why they've got, such good control of the memory market, at least right now. And then number three, they lead on the HBM4. That's the next generation. Okay, so a Micron HBM4 entered volume shipments. AI needs that speed. Without it, AI just gets stuck waiting on memory. Okay, and then last on the bottom, 56% of revenue is data center AI memory. So again, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video, right, that number was a whole lot smaller a couple years back. Micron, you can say quietly, but loudly in its own way, became an AI company right before our eyes. Um, Putting it all together, right? You've got the HBM leadership. You've got, the scarcity between only three companies in the world making it. They've got the next generation, greatest memory chip, fastest. Uh, it's just that's why this is a wonderful company. This company is just special. All right, so something I want to share with you all is this chart right here. Okay, each bar shows Micron's data center revenue in billions of dollars. Okay, 2 years ago, fiscal year 2024, you can see on the first bar, it's small, about $4 billion. Last year, uh, that grew. Okay, so this year, fiscal year 2026, data center revenue is on track to clear $30 billion. By 2028, wow, tremendous. That bar shoots way up. Look at the right hand side of the slide, right? I mean, $100 billion uh, by 2030. I mean, that's up 16 billion from 2024. Micron already holds 22% of that pie. Just tremendous to say the least. So that's, I mean, the growth is there. All right, so if you take a look in the middle box on the right-hand side, the stock's up over 220% year to date. S&P up only around 9%, right? Micron's basically crushing it right now. I mean, they're beating the market by a huge margin, obviously. I mean, that's why I'm here sharing this news with you guys. Okay. Then the last box on the bottom, 33.5 billion in Q3 revenue guide, right? HBM sold out through 2026. Bookings are at a record high. That means real orders sitting in the pipeline. And then look, I mean, when I see a company raising its own targets over and over and over again, when I hear that bookings are flooded, right? When I hear that they're sold out, when I hear about the scarcity, um, when I look at the long-term story getting stronger, when I think about robotics coming in the future, when I think about, space coming into the future, the growth of AI, it's like, of course, the story is this still a cyclical commodity? And it's like it can be, but I mean, for how long? I mean, especially with the growth, and we haven't even reached physical AI yet. So, I mean, the runway is long for AI and memory. So at least that's my opinion. Okay, that's my own opinion. All right, so this slide right here is what gets me really excited about Micron. Okay, it's always, I mean, who are their customers? When you've got Nvidia, when you've got Nvidia needing Micron memory inside of their Blackwells or inside of their Vera Rubins or inside of their new CPUs, they've got huge demand for it. That's a great thing, right? The the largest market cap company in the world. I mean, their margins are insane, and they need Micron. Okay. Then number two, if you take a look at AMD, one of the leaders in GPUs as well, right? I mean, it's their chip is co-designed with Micron memory, so that's another big thing. And then of course they've got Amazon, right? I mean, who doesn't love Amazon? Amazon needs Micron for their Trainium AI systems. I mean, bottom line. And then, of course, Microsoft as well, right? I mean, Microsoft uses them too. So when you've got these massively huge businesses that are dependent on Micron, sure, I mean, one big thing is maybe I mean, how largely concentrated are these companies, uh, and how dependent is Micron's revenue dependent on these companies? But these companies, I mean, they don't want to lose the race. They don't want to fall behind. They're gonna use Micron. So, in my opinion, that's creating a moat, especially with the strongest group of customer base out there. So, of course, to wrap it up, right, I want to share with you guys maybe some things that we should keep in mind, okay? The risks, okay? Some things that we should think about, I mean, if you think about it, take a look on the left, right? I've got that 10 times. That's the forward PE ratio that Micron trades at today. Micron already crossed the $1 trillion mark in May of 2026. So yeah, that's actually pretty cheap for this kind of growth. Now, analysts see EPS, earnings per share, hitting around $59 this fiscal year alone. The math leaves plenty of room for the stock to re-rate higher, but nonetheless, I mean, it's grown so much already, right? I mean, how much more can it grow? Can this, what frame or what angle should we look at this forward PE at, especially for a memory chip company that's looked frowned upon because of its past history of being a cyclical commodity. So take a look in the middle. $59 is the fiscal year 2026 earnings per share consensus estimate, right? That's up only $7.65 from last year. Analysts keeps raising those numbers, and every quarter the bar keeps moving higher. So just keep an eye on that, the revisions that come on that. And then, of course, I continue to mention it throughout the video because that's the biggest downfall on these memory chip companies that are like have just exploded because of AI, right? Is memory still cyclical? I mean, has that changed, right? It has changed because Micron is now a $1 trillion company. Basically, if AI slows down or memory chip becomes oversupply, I mean, that could absolutely hit the shares hard. So, what kind of innovation are they going to have? What kind of transformation is the company going to have to go through? Again, like I said, cyclical commodity. We're still trying to figure that part out. And that's the part that makes a lot of investors fearful. But again, like I said, right, we haven't seen the physical AI part of it. We haven't seen the robotics side of it. I would say, do your research. Okay, know what you're buying if you're looking into Micron. And then at the end of the day, right, if you take a look at everything put together before I wrap this up, okay, Micron is one of the three leaders for memory chips for AI. Okay, without them, it's going to be hard for AI to grow. Number two, um, those huge hyperscalers that I had shown you in the last slide, right? Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft. Okay, they are booking in real orders, that's real revenue for Micron. And then, the third thing I've got for you is, in my opinion, the long-term story is still strong, right? Demand is obviously there. Only three companies make the HBM, and then on top of that, Micron is also here in America, which gives them some sort of leverage, in my opinion, with Nvidia and the other large companies like Microsoft and them being Amazon being here. So at the end of the day, this isn't financial advice, okay? But knowledge is power. I want to share what I know, what I've gathered up with you all. That's why I'm trying to be informative, okay? Knowledge is power. Do your research, learn more about this stuff right here, and come up with your absolute best judgment before you do anything. And that's it. That's all I've got for you. Okay, so if you found this enjoyable or useful, informative, whatever, right? Hey, please give me a thumbs up. Click on that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe. When my videos come out, you'll be able to see it. I try to share as much as I can. And then on top of that, if you've got any comments, questions, tell me your thoughts on Micron. Tell me your thoughts on the cyclical commodity mindset and past history of memory chip companies. Okay, drop that into the comments for me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make it a great day.